Music.
News.
Information.
GFM.
96.6.
Welcome to the studio, Marguerite.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here.
Thank you very much. The GFM experience.
Woohoo.
We try our best. So, you're from the Prince's Trust.
Yes, I am indeed. So I'm based in Bristol, but we cover projects and courses all over the southwest.
So, now that's really interesting because I was saying to you off air that the Prince's Trust, it was founded by Prince Charles.
That's right, yeah.
You do see it on the news from time to time. You see it on the news quite often, Prince Charles going around different projects.
That's
and
right,
he's your patron. I always thought it was, I've always had this idea that it's just London-based or it's just in London.
It originated in London, and it basically, since the 70s, it grew arms and legs from there. So if you look at any kind of major city across the UK and in Northern Ireland, then you're going to find a Prince's Trust office somewhere. So we've basically got offices all over the country.
Okay then, how did you get in? Well, tell us a bit about the Prince's Trust first, and then I want to find out how you got involved in it.
Sure thing. Well, basically, the Prince's Trust is a charitable organisation that works with young people aged 14 right up to the age of 30 across a whole different range of programmes depending on what the young person is interested in, where they're at and where they want to go. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. All our courses are free, so coming on board with us won't cost you a single penny, and you get loads of support to kind of get to where you want to go, really.
Fantastic. Robin?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, what courses do you provide?
I'm just taking a big deep breath, Robin, because we offer a whole different range of courses. This will vary from region to region, in this region, actually, starting on the 20th of June, we have a construction program called Get Into Constuction. And basically that is for 16 to 25-year-olds who are work ready, keen to get onto the building sites, but just don't have the qualifications or the skills under their belt yet. So they come on board and do a 2-week program with us. They get their CSCS card, their abrasive wheel certificate, practical experience, and then 6-month support afterwards to move into work or back into education, or indeed maybe onto an apprenticeship. It depends entirely on the young person. But we really do have a whole range of courses. Anything with Get Into at the beginning of it is employability focused. So we have Get Into Customer Services, Get Into Garden and Landscaping, Get Into Construction, Get Into Traditional Building. It ranges across the region. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have short engagement courses. So maybe for young people who aren't entirely sure about what they want to do, not exactly sure about where they want to go next, but they know that they kind of want to get involved in something positive. So we have short engagement programs as well that range from 5-day sailing courses where you go off in tall ships with Kreml sailing. We've got a course starting soon which is all about horse management. There's like lots of music, arts-based courses, theatre-based courses. All those are also out there too. A whole range, Robin, is all I can tell you.
It's interesting, especially at a time when a lot of focus is put on putting young people into university. You seem to have the Prince's Trust stood here saying, actually, there's a whole range of other options open to young people. You've just listed so many that I thought, wow, actually, they're the things that we don't have enough young people in. So like you said, people can get involved and you can give them, even if it's just like an introduction to to whatever they want to go in, they can then build from there.
Absolutely. Well, the way we look at it, school is not for every young person out there. So this is like the alternate to going to school. You maybe have gone to school, maybe you haven't had a great experience, you might have left with little or no GCSEs, you might feel a bit disillusioned, but if you come on board with the Prince's Trust, we don't ask for any qualifications to start off with this. Regardless of your history or background, it doesn't matter to us. If you've had trouble with the police before, again, it doesn't matter to us. Anyone, it's basically open and accessible to anyone who basically wants to get their life kick-started and get doing something that they're interested in, really.
So where's all these courses sort of aiming to go if someone joins on? So is the aim sort of result is to get a job then?
It depends again, Robin. That's a really good question. It depends on the young person. At the end of the day, the way I look at it personally is that all the courses we offer young people is to give them a chance, a platform to kind of get their head sorted, figure out what they want to do next, to kind of show them the options that are out there and help them get to that second stage. For some young people, it'll be very much about, I want to find a job, I've got maybe a family of their own that they need to support. For other young people, they might not be at that stage yet, or it's maybe about getting back into education. Maybe they want an apprenticeship out of it at the end. So it really depends from person to person. But yes, getting into work and getting those qualifications and experience under your belt is a big part of it too.
And it will look fantastic on your CV.
Absolutely, it really will. It's a fun way to get those qualifications and to get something positive on your CV. And the good thing about the Prince's Trust too, I suppose, without bigging it up too much, is the fact that it is like nationally recognised. So they have a Prince's Trust kind of course under your belt that you can put in your CV, like employers, training providers, like everyone will recognise it.
Definitely, that's a really good point. So how did you get involved in the Prince's Trust then, Marguerite?
I got involved in the Prince's Trust almost 5 years ago now. So I, at the time, was living and working in Glasgow. I had just finished uni, moved to Glasgow to find work, and found the worst job I've ever had in my entire life. I really wasn't enjoying it. Long hours and terrible pay. And basically, I saw an advert in the paper that the Prince's Trust were looking for sessional youth workers. They wanted youth workers to come and work for them 12 hours a week. So I applied, got the 12 hours a week, waved bye-bye to that horrible job I had that we'll never talk about again. And basically it kind of grew from there. I had done some youth work before in my local community where I grew up in Ireland. And then I'd gone to do camp counselling in America over the summer. So I suppose that kind of inspired me to do more youth work. And it kind of started from 12 hours a week to a full-time position. And I've been based in Bristol now for almost a year. So.
And what do you think of Bristol? I mean, our listeners may know I went to university there, so I've got a soft spot for the city. What do you think of Bristol?
Honestly, and I can put my hand on my heart so when I say this, I was initially a bit nervous about moving down here because I was leaving everyone in Glasgow. I didn't have any friends down here, but Bristol has been one of the most welcoming cities I've ever come across. There's always something going on. There's always something to do. A great kind of community spirit I find in Bristol, and generally nice people. Like I find when people ask you, where are you from or what are you doing, that they are actually interested in, what you're up to and stuff. So yeah, absolutely. Definitely a big thumbs up from me.
Wonderful. That's what I like to hear. So, right then. So yeah, you were saying about this new initiative, about the construction initiative. Mm-hmm. So how did that come about then? What was the inspiration for that?
Well, basically, I think before my time in the Southwest, the Prince's Trust used to be really active around Gloucester and in Gloucestershire. And then through different funding streams and whatnot, sometimes the focus kind of changes if we lose funding. But we've got more funding back now to work specifically in Gloucestershire and indeed in Gloucester. And basically what we do is the Prince's Trust will identify an area where young people can get qualifications that will stand them in good stead for a long time. We partner up with the experts in the field. So for the construction programme, we actually work alongside Carillion. So Carillion then provide all the expertise, all the training. And it was kind of a bit of a brainstorm between those two organisations. We thought, you know what, we could come to Gloucester and offer Gloucester young people the chance to get, as I say, the CSCS card, all their certificates, and a chance to get on the building sites once they do the course with us.
So how would the young people here in Gloucester get in contact with you guys, or where could they go to find out more information? That's
a good point. The best thing to do maybe is we have a website, so it's www.princes-trust.org.uk. If you even Googled Prince's Trust, you would kind of find your way onto the website. We also have a Facebook page. Woohoo! We're very trendy. Or if you wanted to maybe speak to someone in person, if you phoned the Bristol office, which is 0117 929 2300. You could speak to a member of staff, kind of discuss with them what you're interested in, and they'd be able to kind of give your inquiry to the right person who would then kind of touch base with you, pick it up and kind of get the ball rolling from there. So, you know, parents, young people, teachers, youth workers, anyone who works with young people, or even indeed young people themselves, if you're interested, give one of those options a bash. We'd love to hear from you.
So I know there might be young people out there listening, or perhaps even parents of young people who, you know, they've got their teens sat at home and they're just thinking, get out, go and do something. But I know people might be thinking, oh, I've heard all this before.
Yeah.
You know, same old, yeah, it's fantastic, it's on the news, whatever. Give us an example then.
Well, a big focus for us, like when a young person comes in the course, is once they do the 2-week course with us, it's not just there's your qualifications, see you later, have a nice life. We give them 6 months support afterwards to move on into education, into training or into employment. And we have a stat, here we go, I've been researching my stats today. 3 out of 4 young people that come on board with one of our programs move into a positive outcome. So that could be, as I say, work, training, education, one of those 3, and indeed volunteering. Like a lot of people, I think maybe don't see how beneficial volunteering can be, but for us too, like I'm always urging young people to, like, you know, get as much volunteering experience as you can, because you never know what door it'll open, and the skills and the training that you get for free will be invaluable. So that's the stat, is 3 out of 4 young people move on after they finish a course with us.
Fantastic. See, that's exactly what you want to hear out now, especially when, you know, economic times are the way they are.
Absolutely.
And a lot of young people are coming out of school, and especially with tuition fees going up, wondering whether or not to go into university.
Exactly, yeah, it's a tough decision. The good thing about us too, I suppose, is like even if you still were thinking about education or going to uni or going to college, like absolutely do that. And, you know, you could come with us for 2 weeks and achieve a bit more and get a few more kind of qualifications under your belt. So It's not a long time to commit.
No, there you go, exactly. And especially now, summer holidays coming up, just around the corner. Good time to get involved. Chris has emailed in to say not all young people are academic-minded. For those who are, great, they should be encouraged to pursue it to the limit, including university. For everybody, encourage basic skills. It's necessary to communicate in today's world. But the needs of the practical-minded, artistic, sporty, need also to be considered. And let's face it, society couldn't survive without our practical-minded youngsters. They are part of our future too.
Do you know what? I would completely agree with you, Chris. And at the Prince's Trust, like that's kind of the view that we take as well. All our courses are really practical, really hands-on. We have worked with young people who maybe don't have fantastic literacy skills, but to us it doesn't matter. If you've got the heart and you want to do it, then we'll help get you there. I had, on the last construction course I ran, in 2010, so just like last year, November 2010, we had 2 young people, one of whom was completely illiterate, and we had another young guy who had 2 different types of dyslexia. So reading and writing for him was just so difficult. Reading and writing for both of them was really difficult, but the 2 of them managed to get their CSCS card in their back pocket first time around after sitting a formal exam. So absolutely, like, you know, I can completely agree with you, Chris. Like, not every young person is academic, and we realise that, and the approach we come from is by getting stuck in, try it out for yourself and learn that. We learn by hands-on kind of approach.
Especially in places like, you know, it can be harder in places like Gloucester, for example. They're a lot smaller. I'm sure you've probably seen it yourself. Bristol is a city, so
yeah.
You know, it's often young people or parents often feel as though there's more opportunities in a city.
Absolutely.
So it's good that you're moving into places like Gloucester, which may not always, you know, be, they may get overlooked, so to speak.
Yeah, that's true, actually, and this is what this kind of big push is all about now. The Prince's Trust just want to get more active in Gloucester and give local Gloucester young people the chance to get on board and really kind of, as I say, like just move forward and do something that they want to do. Actually, I've just remembered, in fact, that the Prince's Trust also work with Young Gloucester out here in Gloucester.
Okay.
So there's a team program that runs through them. It's a 12-week personal development course, and again, really practical and hands-on. So if you're thinking, you know, the construction course isn't for me, maybe check out Young Gloucester and find out more about the team program that they offer through the Prince's Trust here too.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Again, have a look on the internet, or I know that Chris is often quite hot on Facebook, so he may manage to find a link and put that up for people to follow.
Go on, Chris.
I know, he's like our saviour. He's like our, you know, he's amazing. So that's fantastic then. So there's so many avenues that people can go to. There's so many things that people can explore.
Absolutely.
Are there any more examples you've got? Because I know when we were in the office office we were discussing, you said about when you go to train stations. Can you tell us that story?
Right. Well, basically, it kind of it came from, like, Robin asked me, you know, what does the Princess Trust do? What kind of courses do you have? So it was a big deep breath, and basically we have a massive range of courses depending on where a young person's at and where they want to, what they want to do. We have an enterprise program that's for 16 to 30-year-olds. So it's anybody who has a business idea, doesn't have the financial backing themselves to get it off the ground. The bank won't give them the loans they need, but they still got a great idea. So if you approach the trust with your idea, you go on a business program, get all the mentoring, get all the help, and if the idea seems to, you know, make sense and it looks like it's going to work, then the Princess Trust will give you funding to kind of get your idea off the ground. So I was telling Robin that the next time you're in an airport or you're in a train station and you see a kid riding around on one of those little plastic trunky suitcases with the wheels, then that's actually a business that was started through the Princess Trust. The guy who had the idea initially went and approached Dragon's Den, and they basically laughed him out of the studio, told him that it would never work, it was a silly idea. He came to the Princess Trust, got funding through us to start his business, got the mentor support for 2 years to kind of build his business, and now he's just broke America, and the guy is laughing all the way to the bank. So
and the dragons aren't.
yeah, and the dragons aren't, so they missed out that time round. But that's just one example. You know, we've got young people. I've had a young person on a course recently too who kind of, like, he had a young family of his own, so he was really keen to get into work as soon as the course ended, and, like, you know, every day he was saying to me, right, so what about this job afterwards? How am I going to get a job? Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And what we do is, like, on the last day of a course, we invite, like, all the local employers along. We make the links through the Princess Trust with local employers. So this guy walked up to one of the recruitment agency representatives, introduced himself, showed her that he had his CSCS card, and asked her for a job, and he started on Monday. So,
wow.
you know, like, there are real success stories out there, and that's about, just like, you know, as I say, like, having that heart and that determination to kind of, like, push yourself on to, like, you know, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink.
Yes.
So through the trust, like, you know, we'll give you all the tools and all the skills and all the support you need. And as I say, if you have that drive and that determination just to get on, then there's nothing stopping you.
What about people who are coming at it from the other side then? People who were in your position, say, because it sounds to me, and, you know, a bit of a personal question, but it sounds to me like it's a fulfilling job to do.
It's amazing, Alyssa. Like, it's absolutely incredible. I'll not lie and say that it's not hard work. And before I made it out here today from Bristol, I was running around like a headless chicken because it's so many things to do. But you know what, that's what actually me and my colleague were talking about today. It's just like, at the end of the day, like, it's so easy to get bogged down and with paperwork and the day-to-day running of things, but when you actually stop to think about who you're helping and what we're doing, and you hear the success stories, or you hear young people coming back who've made a change in their own lives, it's just it's the best feeling, and for me personally, it's the greatest motivator that I need to keep going. We actually had a young person call in today. She completed a sailing course quite recently down in Plymouth. When she started the course, she was in tears on the first day because she kind of felt that she had nothing to offer. She didn't think she'd be able to stick out the 5 days on a boat, didn't really know what to do. Called my colleague today to say that she's just landed the job that she's always dreamt of. She always wanted to work with people, always wanted to work in care. She has a young daughter and kind of, you know, concentrated the last few years on, like, you know, raising her daughter, and just kind of felt like less than a month ago back that she had nothing to give or nothing to offer, and here she is today, over the moon, the fact that she's landed this job. And, you know, I wouldn't say that the Princess Trust that got her that job, but, you know, it was very much herself. But maybe in a way I hope to think that we've maybe kind of raised her aspirations and kind of raised her confidence and kind of showed her that if you really want to, then you can.
Yeah, I think that's a really positive message to come out of it, actually, that, yeah, it doesn't matter what your circumstances are, or even what your age is.
Absolutely.
You know, because like you said, it goes up to, which surprises me, up to 30. You know, that's fantastic. You're never too young to begin, you're never too old to begin again, and to learn and to progress to where you want to go.
I completely agree with it, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's just like, you know, if you want to do something, if you have the motivation and you're willing to get stuck in, then let us provide you with the opportunity.
Marguerite, you've been a fantastic guest.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming into the studio. I'm sure Robin will want to say thank you as well.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I just followed a question here.
Whoa, make them easy ones, Robin.
If you want to get involved with the Prince's Trust, who do you call, or can you just sort of log online?
Yeah, that's it. You can go on to if you just Google Prince's Trust, it'll direct you to the website. Alternatively, you can look on Facebook. If you just go into the Friends search box and type in Prince's Trust, you can join us and be our friend. Or you can call our main Bristol office, which is 0117 929 2300, and one of the staff there will put you through to the right person. So yeah, absolutely. Even if it's only a query, even if you only want to find out more, even if you're not too sure, anything at all, any questions, more than happy to answer them. Give us a call. We're a friendly bunch down in Bristol.
Of course, you mentioned the Prince's Trust is a charitable organisation.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a way of that, someone just want to give a bit of money or support the Prince's Trust in that sort of way, how do they do that?
Absolutely, Robin. We do actually rely, we rely on funding all the time. We couldn't do it without that funding, and a lot of people are just so generous in what they give. And if you were interested in donating, like if you just again looked online, go to our website, then it kind of explains to you exactly how to do it from there. So yeah, Prince's Trust is online is the way to donate.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Marguerite. And just so you know, and just so everybody out there knows, because there was a lot of information in this interview, and I think it was a fantastic interview, if I do say so myself, please listen again. The Community Link Youth Show, or the Youth Community Link Show, will be replayed tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. So you can listen to that online. If you're local to the Gloucester area, 96.6 on your FM radio, or your digital radio if you've got one, and you can pick us up and have another listen. Thank you very much, Marguerite.
Thanks very much, folks.
No problem, and thank you, Robin.
Music, news, information, GFM 96.6.